Okay, I'm back for part 3, talking all about endowments and endowment terminology. So this is one endowed fund, and an important part to remember is that endowments for organizations could have many endowed funds within them. Usually they're named funds, they're named for the donor that originally gave it, or to memorialize or honor someone that started the scholarship, or that person who was the donor wanted to honor. So these are considered like basically two sides of the coin. They're linked but distinct. So there's a wall between them. This is the permanently restricted corpus amount that hopefully we will never touch. And then we have our reserved earnings, where we're being smart, putting a little cushion between our original amount and the market so that we are managing it properly so that the endowment will last in perpetuity, which is accountant speak for forever. Now, when a donor starts one of these named funds in your endowment, you're going to create a document called a fund agreement that shows how it functions. It details all of your organization's boilerplate language about how your endowment functions, how you're going to report to donors, and so forth, and also what the donor wants the purpose of this fund to be. Many endowed funds can be unrestricted, meaning that it just gives the organization additional budgetary funds each year, or they can be for very specific purposes. In higher ed, the most common is scholarships, and then probably right after that, program or faculty support. So that's some of the things that we can talk about when we're talking about an endowment. Then we also have this concept of, if you have a string of bad years, that is a situation where these funds may become underwater. And underwater, okay, so all of this, the amount of the corpus and the reserve earnings together give you the total market value for that fund. And an endowment may have lots of these little funds. So you could think of it as like a big piggy bank full of little piggies, right? So if your whole endowment or any one of the funds, the total market value, all of this together, is less than the original protected corpus amount, that fund is considered underwater. That's not good. So that means that we're going to have to wait for the market to recover. So sometimes what you can do is award a smaller allocation from your reserved earnings, if there are any still in there, or you may just be in a situation where you can't award that scholarship for that year and you have to wait for the market to recover, replenish the corpus, replenish some of the reserved earnings, then you can award the scholarship again. That's not a fun situation for the organization or for the donor, but it is best practice and the smartest, most mature way to manage the endowed fund for the future. So there's lots of, I could get into a lot of numbers, but that's a lot for a TikTok video. If you want me to give you some actual examples of what it can mean when a fund is underwater in different amounts, I can definitely